WKEYRs, it's good to be here talking to you again. I got some heat for us today. I'm Brother Bennett, and welcome to another episode of An Honest Review. In this series, I'll be using a weapon, going over its build, talking about its stats, and recommending some tactics to use with it. So, let's break this weapon down. Starting with the build. The build I decided to use was a compensated break, the rib stubby grip, a fast mag, heavy extended barrel, hollow rounds, and the 2x50 times optic. Now, out of all the things to choose, obviously there's plenty to choose from and to go through. I didn't go through every single attachment in every category, but right now all the attachments are really redundant, so there's only specific few in each category that you need to be focusing on every weapon. So we're going to talk about those on this weapon here today. I started with the 1x4 times optics, but due to the weapon being so bulky, it obscured my line of sight on the right side, so it forced me to switch it up, which is where I introduced the 2x50 times optics. So on some of this gameplay, you're going to be seeing a switch from the 2x50 times and a switch from the 1x4 times. I have to say that I really do like the 1x4 times. I mentioned that in just about all the weapon review videos that I've made so far, but for this specific weapon, I found that the 2x50 times allowed me to tap fire, reaching out from that 60 to 70 meter range and introducing some CQB along with the 2x50 times. It held up in that department. Just keep in mind that the 2x50 times sight is honestly just as great, and it provides just enough magnification to reach out to that 50 plus meter mark for tap shots if you had it to or when needed in one of those situations. Okay guys, so in the gameplay, you're probably noticing that, hey, Brother Bennett, you also have a suppressor on this weapon, but you haven't mentioned it yet. We're going to go over that right now. So it would be kind of criminal for me to give you guys just a strict loud build for the weapon, which I've done on the previous episodes. And I'm going to try to steer away from doing that for this episode and future episodes. So now I'm going to start trying to provide a good build to be used for running the weapon loud, which will probably provide you more precision and control. Kind of be reserved back with the rest of the team, taking shots from longer ranges. If you die, the team is there to pick you back up. But this next build I found to be a little bit more sneaky. I got some really good back ranges with it. I went on some really good kill streaks. So we're going to talk about it here today. So I tried different suppressors, and I think the lightened suppressor complements the weapons really well. And if you run the suppressor, you should also run all the same attachments, but you'll have to swap one of the other attachments. So instead of losing points in precision and control, you're going to want to lose the hollow rounds for the light rounds. That way you still get somewhat of a buff towards aim down sight speed, which is what the light rounds will provide in swapping them with the hollow rounds. That's going to open up the points for you to still run most of the attachments you already have on for precision and control, which is just the foregrip, and now you have light and suppressor, which helps with recoil, whatever sight you want to use. So there you go, boom. Now you have a solid loud build and a solid silence build. Now for damage per second to the body, the AK4D at 0 meters through 20 meters deals 286 damage per second. From 35 meters to 70 meters, it's 214 damage, and from 80 and out, it's 171 damage. Now, assuming the damage drops off even greater after 100 meters or so. So just keep that in mind as you implement this weapon on the battlefield. Alright, so we're going to roll into the stats of this weapon now that you have an optimized way of that weapon being built for the loud and the suppressed. So let's talk about the base stats. So weapon stats are as follows, with hip fire being at 40, precision at 25, control at 38, mobility at 52, rate of fire being at 514, mag size at 20, reload speed at 2.4 seconds, muzzle velocity at 720 meters per second, ADS time in speed at 250 milliseconds. Now I can tell you that you can upgrade the mag sizes all the way up to a 30 round mag for a lot of points, and you can get a velocity all the way up to 900 meters per second. So you're going to want to do that and accomplish that by obviously using the extended heavy barrel for the velocity. And then I don't recommend going in on the points for the mag size. Just try to rock that fast mag if you can. Now, those are base weapon stats. Those stats will change once you implement the builds that I've given to you prior in the video. For number of bullets to kill bodies starting at 0 through 20 meters, it's going to be a total of 3 rounds. From 35 meters to 70 meters, it's 4. And from 80 meters all the way out, it's going to be at the cost of 5 rounds spent from the chamber. That's going to be for a kill confirmed. Now we're going to go over number of bullets to kill with headshots. So starting at 0 through 20 meters, it's going to be 3. But with the hollow rounds equipped, that's if you're running the loud build, it'll only be 2. From 35 meters to 70 meters, it's going to be 3. Then it becomes 4 rounds at 80 meters plus. Now that's going to wrap up some of the generic stats for the weapon. We're going to roll into tactics with the weapon. So it's obvious that this weapon is a little too inconsistent at first to run from a distance, and it doesn't have enough mag capacity to run and gun in close quarters. Well, I know there are some of you amongst us that would beg to differ, but let's be logical here. For the average player base, it took me to about level 10 to really get a feel for the recoil pattern and rhythm, and after I understood how the weapon acts, I was able to start getting a little crafty with it. So I started tap firing at longer ranges and getting kills playing a distance a little bit better. So for my recommendation for tactics with the weapon, to start off with, within the first, I'd say 10 to 15 levels you're using the weapon, before you start getting really all of what we consider the meta attachments unlocked, I found it best for my playstyle and how I use all the weapons in the game. I started with the weapon more of at a medium to longer range, engaging to get a feel for the pattern of the recoil and to sort of just not be pressed in a critical situation. I found that it was still really hard to get the kills. The bloom was a little out of control for me. So I brought the distance a little bit closer, and I found that the range from about short to medium, not right on the enemy, but holding the choke with the team on the front lines, sort of just playing off the angles, playing off people moving into my sights, was getting me the best kills and being the most efficient with the way that the weapon was built at the specific time. That keeps you getting revived by your team. That keeps you back a little bit. And I did try to go forward and get some hardcore CQB action, but the mag size really shot myself in the foot, and my ability to just not be as gamer as you are and click heads and hit corners and be real dialed in with my reaction speed also hindered me there. So what I recommended was, 10 to 15 meters, keep it kind of back, keep it with the team, stay on the front lines, hold the lines, hold the chokes. You're going to be doing just fine with this weapon, especially whenever you get the attachments unlocked that I recommended in the loud build and the silent build. So really guys, hanging in there just long enough to use your mag on a couple enemies and bouncing out to regain your composure really does help with this weapon's ability and the way this weapon should really be used whenever you're in the thick of it with everyone and the team and you're trying to close a bottleneck down. So the upside to using this weapon CQB is that the gun hits like a truck, but it doesn't kick like a mule. Now, if you shoot at long distances, we already talked about, it does kick like a mule. When you get the attachments down, you can shoot it from long distances, which you're going to see me get some kills by doing, and it's manageable. You just got to tap fire it real slow, really 1 or 2 bullets at a time. You're going to secure the kill. So when I had it first equipped for CQB purposes, I really was honestly very surprised. Now, it just has some bloom, that's all. And to be honest, it might be getting fixed up in the patch on the 18th of this month. So it's the upcoming patch on the 18th. It's definitely, I think, they're going to do some bloom rework from what I was reading. So it might be changing on the S to F tier list on most people's videos that you're probably going to watch in the future. So keep an eye on this weapon, definitely. Now, I say this in every video, and I'm going to continue to say it. My style is cherry picking. So medium to long range engagements using guns that don't do that very well really makes me reevaluate what type of player I need to be in order to make videos like this. So this is good for me and you because I'm challenging myself to do a review on every weapon, no matter mag size or barrel length, nor bullet spread or fire rate. Now, when you see me get a little bit closer and dicing it up a little bit in the kitchen, You might have a little laugh here and there at my aim being wonky or my reaction speed being slow. But like I said, my typical playstyle that I recommend is the cherry picker playstyle. And I think it works out best, and it keeps you at the top of those leaderboards, and it keeps the team pushed back with bottlenecks shut down. I hope what we talked about today is going to help you in the future whenever you decide to finally equip the AK4D and run it and level it up. So with all that being said, I'd like to wish you all a lovely evening. As always, remember Christ is King, and you guys be safe out there. Thanks for tuning in to Brother Bennett, bringing the heat.